Hey friends, it is Jen with Mother Time. Welcome back to my channel and welcome here if you are new. We are kicking off 2025, heading into the kitchen to give it a little cozy cottage refresh. I have a few ideas up my sleeve, so fingers crossed that turns out, but I cannot wait to take you along to show you. So grab yourself a warm cup of coffee or tea, sit back, relax, and let's head into the kitchen to get started. I'm going to jump right into my first project, which is making a curtain with this tablecloth for my dishwasher. I know this could be a little debatable, but I saw this idea on social media and I thought it looked so cute. It's a great way to disguise your dishwasher and gives it that very cozy cottage look. So I want to try it out too. So I have this magnetic curtain rod that I got at Lowe's that I'm going to attach to the dishwasher, and then I'm going to make the curtain. Now, of course, you could just buy a curtain and hem it, but I love this tablecloth from Target. I have the napkins of it. So I said, I'm just going to make a quick little panel. Last year, I was thinking of ideas to disguise my dishwasher too, and I was almost going to add some paneling on top of it, but that is so permanent. What I love about this idea, it's temporary. You can easily take it off because it's just magnetic, so I just thought it looked really, really cute with all of the curtains that I saw on social media with people doing it too. So I wanted to give it a go too. So first, I'm just making sure that this is nice and secure. Of course, you could even use a curtain rod and kind of go around it so it's a little bit more stable, and you could just drill it right into the cabinets. But I wanted something that I could easily remove if I wanted to. I'm testing the idea out first with this napkin of the same tablecloth just to make sure I like the way it hangs, the way it looks. Of course, I ran this by Wayne first too. And when I showed him the idea when I first saw it, he loved it. So I'm totally going to roll with it. So like I mentioned, I'm using this tablecloth from Target to make a curtain panel. Of course, you could just buy curtain panel and hem it, but I just love this pattern and I love the way that it looks in the kitchen. So I'm just going to use this. I'm cutting this down, this tablecloth, this fabric down to 30 by 40. And then I'm just going to hem the one side and I'm going to make my rod pocket, but I'm also going to make a header on top. So I have like a little ruffled top too. So first I'm going to just cut this down and then I'm actually going to sew this, but you could use some hemming tape too if you wanted to do that, some fabric tape, whatever you wanted to do if you're interested in making this too. But I'm going to get behind the sewing machine today and sew this. First, once I cut it down, I'm going to actually fold these sides. So what I like to do is to just use my iron to kind of press the sides, and then I'm going to fold it over again. So I have a nice clean edge. So I fold it once, and then I'm going to fold it again. And I took all these measurements in account when I cut the fabric. So it's going to end up being a 1/2 inch, but I cut a full inch at the end. But also too, I wanted to have some extra. So I have that really nice bunched up ruffled look on top too. So I folded it once, then I'm going to press it really well, and then I fold it over again so I have a nice clean edge. I'm only going to need to hem this half because the other half is already hemmed from being the tablecloth. So trying to save some time with just doing the one. Then I'm going to take it to my sewing machine and sew it together, and then I'm going to do the rod pocket for the top. If you like this idea too, but you don't want to sew and you want a similar pattern, I'll link some curtain options in the description box below. And then you just have to cut the bottom, and you could use some fabric tape to hem the bottom up. And I'll also link the magnetic curtain rod that I am using to attach to the dishwasher too. Now I'm hemming the top, so I'm going to do the same thing as I did before for the side. Folding it over, then folding it over again, using my iron to press it so I don't need to use any pins and I can just run it through my sewing machine. Then I'm going to make my rod pocket, but I'm going to also add a header. So when I put this on the rod, it's got a nice little ruffled top. So I'm just running that through my sewing machine, and then I will be all done with this project. I'm adding my curtain panel to the rod, and then I'm going to attach it to the dishwasher, and wait until you see how cute this looks. It disguises the dishwasher. What I don't like about my dishwasher, it's not that I hate it, but when you walk through the front door, you're walking through the hallway, that's the first thing you see walking into the kitchen. And this gives it that cozy cottage look. Wayne's even testing it out and he's giving it a thumbs up too. He loves it. We've had it up now for several days and it's worked out great. So now I'm going to continue on decorating some other parts of the kitchen. But also I ended up we have a Goodwill bins, a Goodwill outlet now in the Buffalo area. And it's the closest thrift store to me. I'm so excited. I picked this up there and I'm going to add that in the kitchen. I'm going to add some of these faux pears that I've had for years. And every time people see them, they always ask me about those. And I can't even remember where I got them. I wish I did because I just love them. So I'm adding it to this colander that I picked up at the Goodwill bins. And then I'm like, oh, maybe I'll add a little towel just for a little pop too. But then I'm like, I'm going to add it in there so it doesn't get messy. And it's just a nice little way to decorate with a colander in the kitchen. Also added that cute little topiary. I have a few of them. I've had them for a few years and I love the way that looks too. It's just a beautiful everyday kitchen look. A lot of these things I've had in my kitchen since fall and I just swapped them out. Now on my $1.98 thrift store table, do you remember when I picked this up in the fall? We love this table that I got for $1.98. And so now I'm just adding this vase back here. For the holidays, I had a candle here, a big candle, but now I'm adding this vase here again and adding some of these screens that I've had on hand from Hobby Lobby. And I'm also going to add a candle because you got to have a candle in the kitchen. This Mama's Kitchen from Antique Candle Co. is one of my favorites. And I put it on a cute little thrifted ironstone dish that I had to and just, elevates it, but then also it protects it as well. And then in this little pitcher that I always have here, I like this pitcher here because it kind of hides the outlet. Just added some more greens, swapped out the wreath that's on the hook. And then I was going to add some greens here next to my sink too in this crock. But then it looked too much. That was like one more too much. So I ended up not doing anything. I just ended up finding some of these wooden spoons that I added there too. And then over on my quote unquote coffee bar area on the shelf, I always have I've had it decorated like this for a while. I still love it. So I'm not going to change anything out except the greenery. And in this old wooden crate that I found at a garage sale last year, I'm just swapping out the greens that I had in there for Christmas to this beautiful greenery that I recently found at Hobby Lobby. I think it's so pretty. I love the way it cascades out. I'm using 2 of them in this wooden crate. So now here is a little preview of the kitchen dining area, but it's time for another little switcheroo just to change it out a little bit. I've had the curtain panels in here for years, probably 6 or 7 years. I haven't changed them and it's time for a little change, a little refresh. And I found these beautiful curtain panels online. I will link them in the video description below if you like them too. And I figured this would be an easy way to change out this area, give it a fresh new look without doing anything too permanent like paint or wallpaper. I can easily switch them out if I just say, change my mind or want to do something different. So first, I'm going to just hang up one panel before I take the time to hang them all up. I'm going to just hang up one to see how I like it. I'm also debating about changing out I have these hooks here that I've also had here for years. And I end up taking the hooks down too and hanging the curtains right on the rod. So it changes it up a little bit too. But at first I'm just going to see what it looks like with just the one panel, make sure I like the way it looks before I commit to this. And I'm taking the rod down here too. I'm going to just take those little hooks off and add the curtain right to the rod. And then I'm going to take the time to press these really quick, or you could use a steamer, but I've talked about that previously when I'm doing curtains, just taking those few extra minutes to press them with the iron or use the steam just to get out the wrinkles, makes them fall really nice. So that was a little look at what it looks like with just a 1-up, and just putting the 1-up, I was like, wow, what a change just with the 1-up. So I'm going to go ahead, get all of these ironed and hung up and wait to see what a change this made. Here's a little peek with all the curtains down. It's so funny to see it like this. I'm a creature of habit, so having the other curtains and switching them out to these is definitely a change for me, but I thought this was a great way to add a little pattern, a little texture into the kitchen. So here it is once again before, and look at the change. Wow. Like Wayne has told me, I can't even remember how many times he has mentioned, I love the way this looks. I love the way this looks. So he is totally loving them too. Now, I also found this dough bowl at the Goodwill bins when I was there too. Now, this looks like a Hobby Lobby dough bowl that has been painted because I have a similar one like this, or the same one like this too. So I got it at the Goodwill bins because it was at the bin. So it was like next to nothing. And I figured we could either paint it, but I had Wayne. This was a project he wanted to take on and tackle. And he is just using his sander, and he's going to remove all of the paint on there before, just because I wanted more of a natural raw wood dough bowl. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to swap out the bowl that I had there before. Some more of the Hobby Lobby greens. I'm going to add that lantern back in too because I just thought that looked pretty. So I'm just going to keep it very simple. The tablescape very simple because we use this table all the time. So I don't want a lot of stuff, you know, and a place setting and all that stuff there. I'm just keeping it very simple. I'm not even using a runner because it always gets in the way too, honestly. So here is a look at the kitchen dining area now. It is so cozy. I love that change of the pattern. I'm like, why did I wait so long to do something like this? Every time I look in there, I'm looking in there right now. It's just so pretty. So I also found at the Goodwill bins when I was there, these books, which I love thrifting anyways, but to find them at the bins, they're next to nothing. But the one book it was a newer book. So what I like to do when I want to use books and decor, because it's a great way to just kind of add height, or just to decorate with them. But this one book was a little newer than the other one. So I'm just using a little bit of coffee, and I'm just gently, you could use a brush. I didn't have any brushes on hand, so I'm just using a paper towel, and I'm just going around the edges just to give it that old stained look. So just a little tip if you want to decorate with some books and they're newer books and you want to have them look more rustic and old, just use a little bit of coffee and go around the edges, and voila, you have some old looking books. And I'm going to place those two books that I got at the Goodwill bins here with my copper pot, and this is how it looks here. If you notice that green tent outside, I've showed you that before from the dining room. That is our little kitten sanctuary. And guess what, you guys? We have 3 more brand new kittens outside now too, on top of the other ones that we have. So we have like 7 kittens outside, cats and kittens that we've been taking care of outside. So Wayne, he is out there day and night taking care of those kittens. We try to get them inside, but they're happy out there. So we've created this little sanctuary outside for them. So anyways, here is a look at the kitchen, just making a few simple changes in there. A lot of these things I've had in the kitchen for a while, but this is how it turned out. You can see there also the curtain panel on the dishwasher disguises it, but also just gives it that very cozy cottage look. Here's a look at my shelves that I always love styling, and just very cozy, very cottagey, just what I wanted for starting the new year. And at the beginning of the new year, I always like to make a list of some of the projects, big and small, that I'd like to tackle for the new year. And one of the projects on there this year is the cabinets and painting them. They are due for a paint, so stay tuned. That may be coming up sometime this year. I'm probably going to stick to a very similar color because I like that color, but stay tuned because, of course, I'll be sharing that here as well. Okay guys, that is all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a big thumbs up if you did. Let me know in the comments what you enjoyed the most. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram at MotherTime. Check out my blog, mothertime.com. And if you've enjoyed this video and you are not subscribed to my channel yet, make sure you click that subscribe button so you never miss a video. Okay, you guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me here today, and I will see you guys very soon in the next video. Bye, guys.